Yeah, I'm at Chandler's Lane. It looks like it's slipped its anchor or something. It's difficult to tell, but it doesn't look like there's anyone on board. Could you have someone maybe catch up with it further down the river?
Bung it up to Thames Division. Tell Tony and Caff to keep an eye on it till they get a launch up there.
487 from Sierra Oscar receiving.
Go ahead.
Thames are asking if it's a danger to other river traffic.
Doesn't seem to be a problem at the moment, Polly.
They want a description of the boat.
It's blue and white, about 15, 20 foot long with a small cabin.
What condition is it in?
Radio going.
Dunno. Seems like there might have been somebody on board, Polly.
Can you give me any more details?
Well, there's some clothing and sounds like a radio playing.
There's definitely nobody on board?
No, Sarge.
Alert the ambulance service, Sarge.
Yeah, we don't know if anyone's gone in yet.
Oh, Sarge, Thames reckon there's a harbour master's launch close at hand. It could help.
Glad there wasn't a body in that.
We'll moor this and then we'll do a search. Any idea where the boat comes from? Don't recognise it. It's not local. There may be something on board can tell us.
And these clothes, they look quite young.
Packet of fags, nothing else in there.
Sierra Oscar from 487 receiving.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're taking charge of the vessel now, Paul.
Our fault. Looks like some kind of party. It must have been. Still be going on this time of day.
You don't reckon they could have got drunk and just let it float away?
No, they'd have told someone, wouldn't they? I mean, you don't just let it drift.
487 from Sierra Oscar receiving.
Go ahead.
You'll need to locate a serial number on the engine for Thames to run a mariner check on their computer.
Hang on, Polly. The serial number, please.
TD 4136.
Yeah, that's Tango Delta 4136, Polly.
Well, if someone's gone in, chances of finding them alive now are pretty slim.
According to Thames, the boat's reported stolen from outside a house on our patch yesterday.
Oh, from Scannell?
On a trailer.
Maybe the thieves dumped it.
Could be. Anyway, the owners are Mr. Dale. Get a number and contact him, Reg.
Are they going to continue the search?
That's up to Thames. I think I'll pass this up the corridor.
You've got 4 minutes, you know, once you're in the water. That's what they reckon. After that, you slink with the fishes.
Well, Thames lads think it should come landside, sir. Why? Investigate theft of the boat. There's no evidence of anyone in the water. They found a life jacket that probably belongs to the boat, but that doesn't prove anything.
Anyone establish where the boat was launched? There's got to be a limited number of sites.
Well, I'll get Kath and Tony to check both slipways.
How old are these kids likely to have been? Have we got any idea?
Looks like a couple of teenagers.
13, 19, what are we talking?
Not sure.
Why are we using the incident room?
That's the only room I could find, Sarge. I've got to check all this with the loser, Mr. Dale. He's on his way over.
She spent a bit on this.
Yeah, it looks like they're well turned out. School age, most likely.
Well, let's hope they had their fun and let the boat just drift away.
Yeah, have a look at this.
Huh. Just get coupons in mine.
There's 60 quid here. I don't think they just let this drift away.
There's a pair of these on the boat. The same markings.
If it was launched here, where's the trailer?
That's good news. If it's not here, they must have driven off with it.
Well, that only takes one of them. The other one could have gone in. What we need is some witnesses.
The only way we're going to know what really happened is to find one of them.
Unless we find him in there.
Right. If you'd just like to tell us which of these possessions are yours, if any.
Yeah, the life jacket belongs to one of my kids.
We found that in the water. Where are your children right now?
They're at home with their mum. These other things belong to the thieves then, do they?
That's what we're trying to establish.
Ooh. You don't like to think how young they are, do you? This siphon's theirs.
Probably so they can nick some fuel.
Yeah, but you know the engine don't work. They probably wouldn't have found that out till it was too late.
So they could have been stranded?
Well, if they were lucky, someone else might have come along on another vessel. No, they wouldn't have taken them on board without securing my boat.
What about getting back onto the bank?
No, it's difficult. Dangerous even without high tide. Oh, I wish I'd known this was going to happen. I knew I should have clamped that trailer.
Well, we don't know anything's happened yet.
Yeah, but if it has, it's the parents I feel sorry for.
No one?
No one in.
Morning, madam. We're looking for witnesses to an incident that happened earlier today.
Oh, not been another car stolen, has there?
Boat, actually. Launched from the slipway. Wonder if you've seen anyone.
Never even saw my husband leave this morning.
Do you hear any kids playing about, love?
Oh, I did hear a load of shrieking.
When was that?
I don't know what time it was. I was asleep, but they're always shrieking, love.
Who's they?
Well, if you look, you'll probably see them around.
We haven't seen anyone.
What kind of incident? Well, nothing's happened to them, has it?
To who?
Well, there's a pack of them.
How old?
9, 10. Oh, they're noisy brats, but they're only babies.
Sir, apparently Stamp and Marshall have caused a bit of a panic on one of the estates. Some of the parents are worried that a gang of tots have gone missing.
I thought there were supposed to be teenagers on board.
Now, with these baggy clothes the kids wear these days, it's difficult to say. But according to the shoes that were found, Jarvis reckons it's 2 boys aged about 14 plus.
What do we do? We've no witnesses, no evidence. Just hope no bodies pop up. Thanks, Bob.
Sir.
Okay, nothing to worry about.
Someone said there's been an accident on the river.
Well, there may have been an incident, we're not sure.
Do you know if my son was involved?
All we know is that a stolen boat was found drifting nearby. We're trying to establish if there was anyone on board.
I didn't see anything. I just want to know about my youngest. He didn't come home last night.
OK, well, if you give me his name and some details. Has he ever done this sort of thing before?
Sometimes he stays with a mate.
Go ahead.
We've had a report of a body in the water underneath the barges at St Mary's Pier.
Tony? Your message received, ETA 2 minutes.
Down here.
It was right down here.
Yeah, there's the life jacket.
Matches the one from the boat, Sarge.
No. It was over here. I've lost it.
It must be one of the 2 boys. The slipway's a few hundred yards upstream.
No. It looked like a girl.
There she is.
Do we know who she is yet?
Well, there's nothing to immediately identify her.
But we're confident that she came off the boat.
Well, there's nothing to link her with it, apart from the life jacket that was found floating nearby.
I'm going to inform Mr. Cato.
You can pass it on to CID?
No, not unless we suspect foul play.
I thought if somebody drowned, you roughly knew where they were going to turn up.
If they drown in a fish pond, yeah. With the Thames, you haven't got a hope. Even if they all went in there together. One boy could end up upstream, the other on his way to Sheerness. You just have to wait.
Well, how long?
Hours, days, weeks, I wish I could say.
Sir, Inspector Dean, Thames Division.
Tony.
Andrew, we landed the body about half an hour ago, so it'll be some time before we can get a PM.
Any injuries not consistent with drowning?
Slight bruise into the left temple. Nothing untoward. Could have happened when she came off the boat.
She is from the boat, you certain about that?
Oh, she's a fresh one. Fresh as a daisy. She's not decomposed. She was found halfway between the launch site and where the boat was picked up. You have to draw your own conclusion, but I would say it was a safe bet.
Any identifying marks that might help us come up with a name?
Brunette. Good-looking girl. I'd say she'd have to be 17 or more, as we found car keys on her.
What make of car?
They're spare keys, no name on them.
I haven't picked up and checked on the cars parked by the slipway.
Let's see the key.
Bit ironic. Steals a boat, puts an alarm on her car.
Maybe she didn't know it was stolen. Here we go. So it hasn't got too wet.
Don't be lazy, just try the key in the doors, will you? You check for ID, I'll do the PNC check, okay?
What, tow bar? Where's the trailer, though?
Sierra from 487 receiving her.
No, ahead.
Yeah, PNC check. A blue-grey Renault 25, Foxtrot 719, November Lima Charlie, believed to belong to the dead girl.
Possibly a Nicky Glover. Video membership card. No address, though.
So what sort of match have they got? Well, the soccer can pick the shoes
Mine
up
was
here,
busy,
or I'll
sir.
bring them across.
We think these kids have been at it before. Well, we got a probable for the girl, Nicky Glover. Car was registered to a Colin David Glover. Can't be sure, but it could be the dad or brother.
OK, then. Cheers, Ray. Could we have a look at the trainers found? They're fairly new, aren't they?
They're in the incident room. Ask Bob to do the honours with Mr. Glover, would you please, Matthew?
Right.
One of the lads has a very distinctive pattern on the sole of his shoes. We've got the possibility of a match with a boat theft last weekend.
So it's a regular occurrence?
Well, we had a boat taken up to Putney last weekend. They dumped that, nicked a car to come back. We've had about 4 or 5 of these. What I call away days.
What's this then?
Colin Glover?
Yeah?
May we come in?
Got a search warrant?
That's not why we're here. Do you own a Renault 25 F719 NLC?
Yeah? Why?
Do you know where it is now?
No, I don't know. My daughter Nikki had it last night.
I think we had better come in then, Mr. Glover. Thank you. Would you like to take a seat, Mr. Glover?
Look, I don't understand. What's this about?
It's concerning your daughter. There was an incident on the river last night. A young girl died, and we believe the description might fit your daughter.
She never goes anywhere near the river.
When did you last see her, Mr. Glover?
I don't know, last night sometime.
We have some personal items we'd like you to identify. We're not certain, but we suspect they might be your daughter's.
Is this Nicky's?
I can't... I mean, she's got something like that, yeah.
I'm afraid we're going to have to ask you to make a formal identification.
I'll get my jacket.
I think she's wearing this locket in the photograph.
So look. Yeah. 17. When they die so young, eh? Makes you wonder how we managed to live so long.
Soccer will come by later to pick up the shoes.
OK, we'll have Dad ID the girl so they can go ahead with the post-mortem. Then we'll run him back here and hopefully he'll be able to identify the boys from the clothing.
Get some names.
Yeah, although that's the worst. If the boys went in, I'd rather have the bodies first before alarming the parents.
I don't understand. Why was she on the boat?
Well, that's what we're trying to establish. And I have to tell you, the boat was stolen.
She never stole anything in her life. She wouldn't do that.
Well, she may not have known. Does she often stay out all night?
Well, that was a drink and drive. If she had a drink, she'd stay over, that's all.
Where?
Well, wherever the party was, I don't know. Well, how come no one saw her? There must have been someone with her.
Yeah, 2 boys.
What boys?
Well, you don't know what happened to them. I'm afraid they might have drowned.
I can't believe this. Is someone trying to find out? I mean, she may have been forced into all this, you know.
We found 2 jackets and some other items on the boat. Now, you can have a look at them. You might be able to identify the boys.
Do you think they pushed her in?
I'm afraid we're going to have to conduct a post-mortem. But there's no evidence of foul play.
Message from Thames Division, Sarge. They found a trailer submerged on the slipway where we thought that boat was launched, but they've got some problem with kids mucking around on the embankment.
Right, send Tony and Kath. I'll tell Mr. Munro.
We don't want a post-mortem done. I mean, we don't want her body interfered with.
I can understand that, Mr. Glover, but in these instances, a matter of course.
Can't you tell some other way?
We have to find out what happened, Mrs. Glover.
You think these boys might have hurt her?
Well, we're not really certain what happened at this point.
I just don't want anything else done to her if it's not necessary.
What have you done so far to try and find the boys?
Would you like to see if you can identify some of this clothing? Do you recognise any of it? They probably took them off before they launched the boat down the slipway. Save them getting wet.
Anthony,
How can you say that?
I went shopping for the boys with Jackie.
You recognise the shoes?
It is, I'm sure it is. My sister's boy. I think it might be both of them.
You kids there! Move away from that trailer! Move
Oi!
away!
You're not. Off it.
Hang on, hang on. You see this go in?
No, it was like that.
What were you doing then?
Mucking around.
Were you here earlier today when some older kids were mucking around, putting a boat in the water?
No,
Because at least one of those kids drowned.
we're all right, we can swim.
You need more than your 15-metre certificate in there, mate.
So it's all right to change Mike for Polly, yeah? Yeah, sure. Thanks, Matt. We need a WPC, Polly. You know what's going on, yeah?
Yeah, but I don't think I'm going to be much help.
Good luck, Paul.
How are we going to do this?
Well, Mrs. Glover's sister came to the station only knowing that the niece was dead. She was already in transit when we were trying to contact her. Can you? So. Mrs. Glover, would you like to speak to your sister, or shall we?
Can I speak to her first?
Of course. Can you show them through?
This way. I'm waiting here. What are we going to do if it is them?
Well, we can only tell them what we know.
3 of them from one family, Sarge.
Can you see the clothes?
Of course. Mrs. Nixon, I'm sure your sister's explained. Can you confirm that those clothes belong to your sons?
Doesn't mean to say they're dead, though, does it?
No. When did you last see them?
Well, when my youngest didn't come home last night, I thought... He's not like my eldest, Anthony, is he?
Have you seen the boys today?
No.
If something happened, they could have gone into hiding, couldn't they?
Where? If you know where, we can send some police officers to search for them.
Up from Wapping today, sir.
I'm not sure if I want it back, to be honest.
Tony! Give us a hand, I've got a couple of incident boards here.
I wish I'd never had it in the first place.
This will probably be one of those where we never really know what happened.
Do you realise how fast that tide's going? 4 knots may not sound like much, but you launch something into there and you'd be surprised the impact that would cause against the side of a boat. You give a fair old jolt.
Enough to knock them in.
You try standing on one of these modern plastic decks in the wet. You're supposed to have proper shoes. 2 of the kids were barefoot. The parents, what are they doing here? Mr. Glover.
They want to see where it happened.
Well, there's not much to see.
It's one of the women who came up to us earlier at the flats.
Do you reckon I should have a word with them?
Maybe not. Not now. Why?
I'm going to go get the car.
Tony.
You need the car for evidence, huh?
No, we'll let him go. No, and he'll need the car, won't he, for the funeral and things. We want to get the trailer out of there.
Sergeant!
And
on the back shelf there's a baseball cap. It belongs to one of Nicky's friends. He must have been with them. On the back shelf there.
You know his name?
Yeah. He lives at number 15. Alex Mitchell, I'll show you.
No, leave it to us.
I just want to talk to him.
Please, Tony.
Oh, sir, look, we've explained, all right?
I just want to find out what happened!
Look, it'd be best if you weren't here. Please, just leave it to us, all right?
Alex? Alex? Come on, Alex, we can see you. Come on, Alex, we just want to talk to you.
It's only a kid. Keep an eye on the parents, I don't want them coming over. Well, Alex, we're not going to do anything. We just want to know if you were with Nicky or Anthony and John Nixon last night. You want us to contact your parents?
It wasn't anything to do with me. I wasn't with them.
You know what happened, though? Come on, Alex, let us in. You wait here.
Have you found them?
We found Nicky.
I don't know what happened, honest. I didn't have anything to do with it. I just helped push the boat in, that's all.
You know Nicky's dead?
Tell me about John and Anthony. Were they with you?
It was their fault.
How?
They fell in. They was larking about. Then Anthony he started screaming to get him out.
How did they fall in?
We didn't see. It was dark. They was just shouting at us.
Who's we?
Me and Nicky. We wanted to do something. Then Nicky jumped in. I stayed on the bank. There was nothing I could do. We couldn't see them. Then they stopped shouting. They just went. Nicky was shouting at me, and I kept hearing her, but...
Yeah, all right.
I just wanted to stay alive.